This is OK here. We're covering a Crazyhouse candidates match between International Master Opperwezen and from Holland and Mastertan from Australia. And this is game one. And I'll just replay through the first few moves. I'm just going to let people know that I'm streaming, and people on the Discord are welcome to join me in voice chat. So just to go back to the beginning of game one, we're going to look from opperwezen's perspective today. We have an e4, e5, and I think opperwezen's bishop c5 and bishop e7 are both the traditional theory, but I think he favours d6 lately, considering the old theory to be refuted. Okay, so we're up to. Are we up to? Yeah, we're up to the current position now. Okay. So hopefully the sound is good. Hopefully the video quality is okay. Okay. So he's offering his queen, it seems. This is quite sharp. So he didn't want to move his queen because of a pawn drop on f7. So I think this is opperwezen going desperado in a way. It sometimes works. He's trying to complicate the position, and it sometimes doesn't. If he takes the queen, takes the queen. If queen drop check, king takes knight, and he's hoping that with only a pawn in hand and the pawn drops are covered, white wouldn't have enough to mate. But when he goes desperado, I wonder, what about queen here check? Then bishop here would be forced. Yes, I mean there's no need for you to take up the desperado. You could just move the queen. The score for Clearcast is 0-0. He hasn't missed anything. Okay, so yeah, so instead he goes knight takes e6, bishop takes, and replaces the knight. Wow, that's a nice idea. Side rating up. Well, I mean, the queen's on offer, so I think it's a reasonable thing just to take it. Oh, so there is, hang on, there is a knight. Okay, oh dear, because he gave a knight, there is a knight. So I'm not sure if this has worked out as planned. So this is really sharp. So in this position, I wonder why white just doesn't move the queen. Oh, because then maybe knight takes knight. Okay. So replaces the queen, but the problem is the knight. So opperwezen's going to get his queen back if he wants it. And moreover, d8 is covered, so black seems quite safe. Yeah, queen on the back rank, and this is a problem, isn't it? Bishop. Let's see. Bishop here would just be block. Take it. Takes. Maybe that doesn't work. Okay, 8 seconds to figure it out. Not easy. Just take a pawn. There's always queen takes rook in the end and replace a rook. But then you're exchanging your queens for rooks if you do that. The bishop can just take this pawn. That seemed like a panic move. Block, pawn block. Oh, but now there's a lot of pawn. Bishop. Rook. No, he's going for a pawn attack. Well, he can take the... Okay, so he's got a queen on the back rank. He could take another queen if he wants. Oh, that's not a real queen. So he just won all the queens now. And then this is weak. He's got all... Wow, okay. Well, we'll do some analysis, I think, if we can, after the games, not during them. So we're going to stick with the games during the games, I think. Okay, so a French defense from mastertan. I haven't seen a lot of these. I've been watching opperwezen's games a lot lately because I've been watching him play long series against Yasser. Yeah, and there haven't been that many French defenses, so. I mean, it seems like knight e2 is called for. I think Opper hasn't played what he normally likes to play, yeah. But I'm not quite sure if that's true, if what I'm saying is true. But yeah, in these sorts of situations where the knight's on f5, I think he likes to play f3 before this knight comes out. Of course, with this move order, he couldn't do that. So this... Okay, he took with the bishop, so he'd take with check. Because if it was take with the... Yeah, I do wonder what would happen if he took with the knight. But maybe queen takes g7 is just too powerful in that situation. Okay, so that's why he takes with the bishop and then uses the knight as a defender for g7. I'm kind of stating the obvious here. Well, the queen is defended, so he could just pick off the knight, couldn't he? So here's a variation I'm thinking. Takes the knight, then takes the queen. Yeah, it doesn't work. And I was thinking here, but yeah, he does have knight takes g2 at the end of that line. So it's not so pleasant necessarily. Yeah, so you don't really want to take that queen unless you have... Yeah, now you could follow through that idea. Take the knight, then take the queen, then go bishop here. But now the problem is it's no longer a mate threat because the knight is covering off. So maybe dropping a bishop on... Ah, so we are following this idea, but not bishop at g5, knight at g5. Okay. Using the knight he just picked up is going to g5. Okay, and now that bishop is also... So the clear plan here is knight takes knight and pick up the queen. But actually the bishop... Oh yeah, so the bishop can't take because then knight would take here. So this is just a pure deflection. Knight takes knight, queen takes queen. Okay, but it doesn't work because knight at e2 is checkmate. So yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, that's a nice little trick. So instead he's going for this. Knight takes queen. Yeah, that's really nice. Black's picking up the queen. Oh, but white's also picking up the queen. Is there any other trick in the position? Knight takes pawn, queen takes queen, pawn takes queen. I'm thinking moves like queen, yeah. Maybe queen takes pawn first, then knight takes queen. Then you have a pawn to drop on e2. But rook just goes to e1. So I'm still struggling to see the follow-up. You want another pawn then for f2. But maybe you could get it. Okay, we're maybe going to see this. So knight takes queen. Oh, but hang on a second. We've lost the tempo by doing that. So you can just retake the knight. That didn't work at all. Because if we took the queen, he takes our queen, our knight is still free to roam. So that didn't work at all. Simply bishop takes knight, and white has just got all these pieces in hand. Oh, but there is h4 in the position. Okay, and that's why he goes rook takes, because yeah, h4 is a little worrisome. Just blasting open the h file. But just g4 maybe? h4, g4, h3, g3. Oh, and then a queen g2 mate. Okay, so sorry, what happened here? Okay, we had... Yeah, white has just so many pieces in hand, and he's going in. The rook is coming into the attack. He's got another knight, which could land here, for example, but then the king could go here. I can't see the continuation just yet. Maybe king, yeah. Oh, but why not rook takes bishop? But then knight takes rook, and then there isn't a threat. Okay, mastertan really needs to accelerate this. Oh, is it mastertan or opperwezen? No, opperwezen needs to accelerate this. Oh, so if the bishop takes, he no longer guards f7, and that's mate. So he has to block. Must block. Very essential for mastertan to block this. He does block. And what? How could he flag? He was just completely dominating that position. That's hugely disappointing from opperwezen. Okay, there was no immediate mate, but blocking was the expected move. I should just chat. He'll be really disappointed after that. So 1 game all, and it's 10 games precisely. And for those in the chat, I'll just post some links. So this is a CWC Crazyhouse World Championship match. Hopefully that will give a link to a page with all the links about the Crazyhouse World Championship. And what else should I post? Yeah, and you can see a lot of the previous videos. If you look in the playlists on my YouTube channel, do subscribe to the YouTube. Look at the playlist on the YouTube channel, and you'll see lots of past Crazyhouse commentary. Also, do look at Jan Lee Crazyhouse. Oh, so GSVC says mastertan was winning at the end. Okay, that is surprising. Okay, that I had the wrong impression. And GSVC says, I thought mastertan would get crushed in the opening last game. Yeah, I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking Opper seemed a little bit uncertain in the opening. And hi there, guy in box, with the we in here emote. Okay, so what have we seen this game? Where we've got opperwezen as black, playing his London system, which he's been training up with Yasser Serouan. But it's a slightly different setup than I'm familiar with. Yeah, a quite nice setup. So the bishop's really defending his king. Okay, so just letting some people know that I'm streaming. Yeah, definitely an interesting game, and I didn't realize. So it's one game all. So game three. JK the Bullfrog says Mastertan is strong. Indeed, he is. But quite good bishops. Bishops defending the black king. I mean, I quite like black setup here. Yeah, neither side. See, neither side can cross the center point. It's just white on one side, black on the other, preparing their armies. JK joking that d4 gives away white's advantage. Yeah, it's a slower game for sure. So I'm inviting GSVC and JK to join if they can. Okay, so yeah, I mean, certainly, yeah, black. We're just trying to get GSVC and JK into the voice chat, so I've been slightly distracted from the game. So just to roll back a few moves. So quite like opper setup, and now he's got a pawn in hand, but straight away he uses the pawn to attack. Very nice. So hi there GSVC, and hi there JK.
Yeah, that's me.
Hi, it's great to hear you again. Yeah, it'd be cool if you can join me in the commentary. That's just going to put the volume up. And yeah, you're both on 200%. Discord's a bit weird. Sorry, yeah, you go. Saying you don't like Mastertan playing d4. Opper's been training. Yeah, Opper's been training d4 d5 with Yasser Sarouan for many hours the past couple of weeks, and I've been streaming a lot of it, putting it up on my YouTube.
Who did you say was training with who?
Opperwezen has been training with Yasser Sarouan in
Yasser.
Yeah, in the London system. And
Gotcha.
I've got 14 hours from the past 2 weeks on my YouTube of their games.
Yeah, I would imagine they're good at this type of. It's just it's a little more chess-like.
Yeah, I think it does suit Opera's style.
Yeah, I don't know why Master. It's not up on theory, but I would imagine he is.
Hi there. So JK, your voice is. Your voice is sort of cutting out. So sometimes you like it's sort of you speak for a bit and then the sentence cuts. I'm not quite sure why.
Okay.
No, I mean I can hear you fine, but it's just sometimes it's sort of I'm getting half of sentences.
Gotcha. I'll see if I. So it looks like black is pretty much forcing.
Yeah, he's in. Okay, yeah, I'm not quite sure why. So how can we fix this? So I think it may be noise sensitivity.
Try to.
If we can turn the sensitivity down, because it's possibly your noise sensitivity is higher.
Hi
Hi there, GSVC.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Or loud and grainy, but it's perfect.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. Sorry. Yes, this is a weird setup. There's a pawn structure for white. Potentially lots of weaknesses. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the opening, I think.
I hope we get something more than this.
Okay, we're having connection problems on Discord. Hi there, White Dancing Rockstar in the Twitch chat. And yeah, I think if I were black here, I'd say this success has been a bit of a this has been a bit of a failure from white. He's got a shuttered pawn structure. Yeah, but I think I'm wrong actually. I think I'm misunderstanding the position. So it looks like he's got a shattered pawn structure and potentially he's got weaknesses on c2, but I don't. Maybe they just don't matter. And the pawn on f4 is quite a. It helps support white's progress. So white could have just taken and replaced, but maybe he just knight takes. Wow, what a shattered pawn structure white has now. Mastertan just emphasizing it. But maybe, I don't know.
He wants to take on g5, go knight f4.
g5 and then knight f4, yeah. So pawn takes g5, knight f4.
But maybe we can try some counterattack, something like knight g5, knight f4, queen g4, or knight g5 doesn't work. So, yeah.
Well, now the bishop's hanging. If you move the bishop, e2 is hanging. Pawn at e2. And h3 is hanging. So, and there's a potential pawn drop on g2. So, yeah, this. I don't know. I'm not good at assessing positions. I find sometimes, but I'm feeling black should be happy with his position. I think black's got good compensation for the piece, to say the least. Okay, knight takes h3 coming. And then picking up g4 even.
Yeah, let's get another puzzle.
Yeah, another knight takes g4. I mean, it's sort of greedy, but why not?
Hey guys.
Hi there.
Is,
So there may be some counterplay on d7, but I don't see it. So Mastertan doing well here, don't you think?
Something.
So it looks like he has 3 pawns for a piece.
Yeah,
I think I might prefer black here. His king's a little safer.
yeah, that's
Maybe bishop at f4 is
nice.
either h6 or bishop at f4 probably.
Yeah, GSVC, we're not hearing you properly. So that people.
Maybe bishop at f4 and then just take on d2 and then maybe play h5.
So GSVC, are you talking? Because we can't hear you.
I was trying to come up with one more and I couldn't.
I think knight at f5 maybe gave up the initiative a little bit. They're both getting low on time. I like castles. That's a good move. Queen f6.
Black seems safe.
Yeah, black king is safe. You can just take f4.
Now this take a foot should be very good for black.
Whoa, he's leaving, taking the bishop again.
He's on
What?
back.
No way.
Wow. I think black is probably winning there. You just
Completely
had
winning.
moving.
Completely winning. We've had 2 flags already in only 4 games.
Well, in the first one, the flagging side was losing anyway, but this one
Yeah.
wasn't.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was. It wasn't clear as a spectator. I mean, from it seemed like he had good initiative. But yeah, when you said, as you said, it was Mastertan had defended accurately.
Yeah, so he must
Yeah,
have been
I don't think
another way to play there.
I think white was out of ideas in that position.
Yeah.
Where upper flag.
Yeah, whereas here it was easy for Mastertan.
I mean, it wasn't like forced mate or anything, but I think he definitely had
But just take the piece though.
a big advantage.
You take the piece with check.
Right.
What else do you do?
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is, Oppo had also left that piece hanging, probably going for time a little bit.
Yeah, I think he realized he needed to get some initiative as well. Otherwise, he was just down material.
Yeah.
So this opening, I'm not too sure about it. It seems like it should be on sound for black, but I think practically people usually get decent results with it. So
yeah,
it keeps going. I don't know. A bishop at b7 almost seems like it wins material here. I guess there's knight b4.
Knight b4, a3.
Right.
What, bishop at e4 or something?
Then maybe rook b8 after that. I'm not sure.
Rook b8, maybe pawn at a6. Nice to have some threat. should have been good for the whites.
Oh yeah, well, maybe bishop at c4 here. Seems like black's position has just too many holes.
Yeah, so it's,
Knight f3 is a good move too. Just developing. I mean, I think e5 kind of doesn't have as much value when your bishop's not on c8.
true.
So white just needs to find an effective way of getting some play here.
So, I mean, normally this position is to get the open lines, but it seems these open lines are just going to benefit white in if you trade off the bishops, as has happened.
Yeah, without the bishop on c8, definitely, you know, there's no diagonal, there's no pawn at h3 with the bishop backing it up.
So
You can still play pawn at h3 there, and I don't think it's bad. But definitely loses some of its sting.
Yeah.
Well, bishop at b5 is a good move.
Keeps things
Kind of
together.
attacking and defending.
Yeah.
So now maybe, you know, black gets a little initiative. I still think pawn takes pawn is probably fine. But I think black is just trying to kind of, I think Opper realized his position wasn't the best, so he's trying to just catch up on development a little bit.
Yep.
I think knight f6 coming, he'll kind of cover d7 and attack or threaten g4, knight g4, knight e4. Oh, he wants to trade queens first. Okay. I guess there's queen at d2. Yeah, kind of missed that.
Yeah, the bishop's falling.
Little tactic there. Maybe he could try bishop takes c6 first. I think mastertan kind of missed this idea as well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's just giving up the queen. Okay.
You got the rook at least. But probably now black is just winning. He's up a queen for a rook.
A rook and 2 pawns. Or is it 1 pawn? Yeah, rook and 1 pawn.
It's 1 pawn.
Yeah.
Well, I think black's safe at least. He could castle and he has knight g4.
So what's the idea of that one?
I'm not too sure.
I guess the white's already got 5 pawns. He doesn't really need any more. Oh.
That's a good point. Yeah. Maybe just pawn at f2 and try to get into the position.
Takes. Yeah, and then oh, he doesn't. He castles. But yeah, and black would have 2 bishops at the end of that. She could pile up.
Yeah, I thought pawn at f2 takes bishop at c5 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't.
It was decent, yeah. Maybe he just didn't think like he had enough. He could just take A8 if he wants to.
Taking A8 is probably quite a good idea. Just also to stop any back rank.
Okay, so he wants to take E3 and then play queen takes. And there's no bishop to defend on G2. So I'm not sure how he's going to defend this. I guess rook at H2 is fine. So rook at H2, then what?
Rook at F1 is lethal.
Oh, well, that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he overlooked that when he took on H3.
Yeah.
He thought he had rook H2, but he missed that idea.
So 4-1 to Opper. Kind of surprising because the games have been a bit more balanced than the score.
Yeah, I think, mastertan's been playing well, but it just in the critical moment, he either flagged or he missed the main idea.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes it's a difference.
Okay, we're going to get F3. I think we're going to get F3 here. Adimari in the Twitch chat says, does Opper stand a chance against Jan?
I'll definitely give Jan the advantage, but you never know. I mean, Opper's been improving a lot lately, so it's not the same Opper that
Yeah.
Jan has a big positive score against them lifetime, but Opper's better than he was before, so it's going to be interesting. Kind of interesting. Usually black takes with the pawn in these positions to get a kind of an extra piece involved and open the D file. Taking with the bishop, pointing at G2. I don't hate it. I do think white should have enough to defend these. And he's just up a piece. Also, the F file is open for white.
Yeah. Now up 2 pieces.
I don't think there's enough here. I think you can just take on it, or what is it, queen G4 idea. But I don't think there's enough. Like just doesn't have. All he has is a queen in play. Doesn't have enough pieces involved. Somehow in these positions with D4 and E5, white kind of blocks out black's pieces. So he's going to try to go for the rook to get a rook at H1. I think just rook F3 and knight G3 will kind of hold everything.
I was thinking also ideas of going for a queen trap, perhaps, with, how you said, knight G3 and then maybe bishop G5.
Right.
Well, queen can still go to G4 though, so it's not quite there.
So queen G4, knight G3. I don't know how black continues. Maybe bishop B4 or A6. Try to, he needs more pieces.
Yeah.
So I could just play knight g3 anyway. Or try to generate an attack somehow. I mean, bishop at d7, knight at f2 is solid. He's attacking h3. He covers h1. He covers g4.
Yeah, that's interesting. So is bishop at g5 now actually a threat to trap the queen? Let's just see. Nope, because queen's still got h5. Queen
I
h5.
think he probably is more interested in just
Queen h5.
eliminating this pawn on h3.
Yeah, of course. And queen can still go to h5 anyway, so... But yeah, rook takes pawn. That's...
Well, rook takes pawn, take, rook at h1 is a little
problem.
messy. I think maybe knight takes pawn is a little cleaner, but either way, you got to take back on c3 first, I think.
Sure. Yeah, Finisher also saying h3
I
hard
just
to
think
defend.
there's I don't see Opera losing this somehow. I think he's going to be able to defend everything.
So Happy Petal says, who is commentating? So I'm joined here by JK the Bullfrog. Hi there, JK.
That's me.
Yeah, that's JK. And also GSVC, whose connection was really bad, so I think he's gone now. And yeah, and the Lone Wolf also listening in, so he might join us. And he's welcome to join us. Knight takes f2 incoming, so Lone Wolf is thinking, okay, that queen takes rook is the problem here.
So bishop at g4, knight takes f2. I'm not sure. I think white maybe, maybe made a mistake or something. He could just move the rook though. But then gets a little dicey when knight takes f2.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so you're just going to defend the rook.
Yeah. So rook at f1
but
though.
Then there's knight takes
rook
f2.
At f1.
Oh, rook at f1. Yeah, I think Upper kind of messed up there.
That was a fail.
That's surprising. I wouldn't have thought he would have made a mistake in that position.
No.
Well, I was definitely winning. He just had to defend the threats.
Yeah, even in that last position, just queen d3 is just the final blunder. I'm sure even in the last position he was doing okay. Even though it was a bit dicey. So GSVC thinks knight f4 seemed to work.
To be accurate. I'm not sure. Okay, I think his idea with the h6 is to have an escape square for his bishop.
Yeah.
So knight h4, he can play bishop h7.
So if you think d4 gives away the advantage for white, what about this setup?
Well, yeah.
Even more so, right?
I think black is already better.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, yes. I mean, in practice, it's actually quite interesting.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, sometimes with these type of positions, the side that's playing the odd moves is just a little bit more familiar with the position.
Yes.
And also, it's a little bit of a psychological advantage. Like, okay, I'm giving up my advantage for white. What are you going to do about it? But I don't know. I just don't.
Hey, look who's in the game chat.
Hi there, Lazy.
Hey.
Hey. But have you seen who's in the game chat? It's blah blah blah.
Die blaue Sau.
Die blaue Sau.
Sau.
Fifth League E6, very good move. Yes, opperwezen von the candidate. e6. Okay, this looks like mastertan. Come on, okay. Where's your commentary?
Oh, well, we're listening to you right now, Lazy.
Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you? That was a badass move. Go on, where's he going to play next?
Well, the knight can't go anywhere, so. But he could take. So he doesn't have to take it immediately, but he could take it immediately just to stop.
So the problem in these positions is, yeah, black has an advantage, but at some point he has to develop some threats against the white king.
This is a good point. White king is very safe.
And there are ways to do it, but they're not standard ways. They're kind of unfamiliar patterns. So I think that's part of why white has a decent score in these type of openings. Because the normal ways to attack them don't work. You have to kind of attack F2 somehow, attack H2, G3.
Yeah, I mean, white desperately needed pieces, but as long as black doesn't walk into a knight fork somewhere, then it should be fine. Yeah, I mean, I think good.
Knight at F4.
Oh, okay. King H8 coming. I think a good plan in these positions, in this sort of setup, is try to get rid of the fianchettoed bishop on G2 at some point. But this is a problem that the target is D5. So the knight and bishop are both targeting D5, and there's only one defender which is about to be kicked. So maybe just move the knight to E4. That doesn't work.
Play knight E4.
And then knight takes 4 and still comes. But then maybe you can sack on G3 and get something going.
But I think black is safe here. So
yeah, he's opted for just
after taking back.
Yeah, knight E4 was good actually because the queen is defending D5.
Right. I mean, there was pawn at F6. But in any case, I think black is fine here. Just needs to find a way to develop an attack. I think pawn at E3 here is good. And bishop G5 is fine because white has no diags. I do think pawn at E3 was starting to attack was a little bit better. Because here white still has a little initiative. He could take F4. It's just going to keep defending. But black is up enough pieces that he doesn't really need to, do anything risky.
Well, we saw that last game though. I don't think opperwezen likes defending. That's the thing.
Well, not many people do.
John loves defending. He's like.
Not many.
I gotta get someone's at the door.
Okay.
Didn't say there was nobody, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think he could just take F4 here.
He was going for G3. But... Okay, why does...
The problem is, if he doesn't attack, he can't win.
Yeah.
Kind of a simple concept.
Oh no, he lost to attack, but he's very good at the counter attack. Offer is extremely dangerous on the counter attack.
I still think he can take F4.
He does take F4.
So finally he takes F4. I don't think
There
But
there should be a
White is
mate.
getting some threats.
Yeah, there should be a mate though. Surely. Let's see. The bishop is defending a lot though.
Yeah, I don't see anything here.
Okay, here I see something. If king takes pawn, knight at g4, and queen at h4 check. Maybe it doesn't work, but it's something.
Yeah, but there's really not enough. I think he actually has to go back to defending. I mean, rook at h8. I guess king g6.
Yeah, he hasn't. So his
Pawn takes rook equals knight.
yeah. But the point is, Opper does have a mate threat here. If you can stay safe.
He can play pawn at g. No, he can play bishop f3.
Ooh, yeah, but fortunately the bishop on h3 is protecting. So bishop takes. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that move.
Yeah, and mastertan flags. But even if bishop f3, you can drop on g4. And
yeah, you have to drop with a knight. But then you can take, and I think actually White should be winning there.
you reckon? Okay. Well, hopefully, can someone?
You just have to guard them. I don't know. It was very actually. If he doesn't threaten anything, Black could just take back the rook on h8. Very complicated.
I'll just ask because I don't want to look myself at the analysis board during the match until afterwards. So I was just asking the chat if anyone wants to give the eval. +9 for White.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I felt. It felt like White somehow got a winning position at the end there, but I don't like h3 in this opening. I think it's a little bit of a time waste, also weakening the dark squares. I think maybe bishop on a long diagonal is fine.
Nice.
Bishop g5 is a good move.
Just threatens mate in 1, yeah. Maybe d6, does that do anything? Yeah, because you're threatening knight at c7. Mate.
So
5-2 is their score, so actually Mastertan needs to win the remaining 3 to tie the match.
yeah, he flagged it in a couple of good positions. This, I think maybe h6. Try to remove the bishop on the diagonal. This is going to be a little hard to defend after it takes c7. I had to play like pawn at f6.
Whoa, this looks so dangerous though for White as well. So what's the threat? Oh yes, it's queen at d8 is the threat, yeah. Pawn at f6.
So, White could play queen at b8. It's a little complicated.
So you could drop queen on c8 maybe.
Maybe just queen at c8 would be the most solid defense. Problem is you can take the rook and then play rook at d8, and then he has a queen in hand still. So this should be winning for White somehow, some way.
Yeah. Let's see.
Interesting. What is the threat? There's rook at d8. Oh, knight at c. Oh, just knight at c7 and pawn at e7. So I think you just got to take back on f6.
Yeah.
But then bishop takes.
Or knight c7 first.
7 is back on.
Knight c7 first, maybe. Or hang on. I feel like there must be some later. But... Yes. There is. So knight c7. Where's the king go? If the king goes to d8, bishop takes pawn, he blocks. No, it doesn't quite.
I mean, he could just take the rook. I think I would have preferred king d8, but we'll see. Maybe White's just trying to get safe.
This is a great way to get safe, yeah. But he's got a real queen stuck on b8 there, not an imaginary one. Oh no, it is an imaginary one.
Bishop d6.
Yeah, that's an imaginary.
Like bishop d6, developing, threatening a mate.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, yeah, black has two queens. That's, and white's queen is kind of
So how do you use them?
He needs knights, so bishop takes knight. Well, but the thing is, bishop takes knight frees up the queen. So,
right. But pawn at e5 is threatened, so kind of has to do something. You could take on f4 and place another bishop on the diagonal. I just think with the king positions, white has to be winning long term.
Yeah. White Dancing Rockstar says mastertan flagging twice in winning positions. Monkus. I don't understand Monkus, but that's just my ignorance.
You can just take the bishop on d6.
Yeah, free bishop, although you
so
do lose.
White's definitely winning.
Yeah, I mean he's losing the rook, but the bishop takes with check, and yeah.
It's bishop at c3 to attack the queen with check. Many ideas here. You can just take that.
This would be one of those cases where you say queens are useless.
Yeah, a lot of times they are.
Oh, that's a nice move. Oh, so this is a nice pawn defense, though. Yeah, that's the problem. The pawn defense you can get underneath.
Can attack g5 now. It's all over. And just take f6.
Get the queen out. Queen and bishop mates. Yep. Bishop and queen kind of. Oh, the knight's still covering a little bit, but queen at. Okay.
Doesn't matter. White is just so safe.
He'll get there in the end. Yes. Okay. So with that, he secures the victory with 2 games to go. 6-2. So it'll be 7 out of 7.
Huh. Well, somebody's knocking at my door, so I'm going to have to check out.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, JK.
It's good. Good talking with you.
Yeah. Same.
All right.
See you.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Go. Bye. So we're going to have some e4, e5 theory, but okay, I'm not familiar with this position at all. So, it feels like knight takes e4 is a mistake, but maybe I'm just completely wrong. But yeah, we'll see. Because, yeah, the rook can come in. You haven't really developed your pieces. You're opening up the e-file. Oh, but you've got a big attack on, my goodness. So king has to go back to f1 or we have a fork on. Could still get a drop on f2. And this is the problem. Where's... Okay, we could also get bishop takes pawn, yeah, or liquidate. He doesn't want diagonal pieces, that's why he took with the rook. Okay, this is also decent. Yeah, so yeah, Michael in the chat says Monkus is that symbol, the frog symbol. Yes, I know what it means, but I never understand why it's called Monkus, what it stands for. So free piece on offer in terms of the knight. Or do you want to defend your dark squares? Opper still undefeated, says Bakus. Yeah, I thought I expected that. He goes for an attack on the dark squares. So if white dares to take the bishop, he'd lose his queen. But I was kind of surprised after bishop at c5 that he wouldn't go straight in and continue with bishop with pawn at e3, and if the king were to take the pawn, knight at f5. But maybe that's still only, yeah, I don't know, and then keep on going with the attack. But he decides to, yeah, instead open up this d file, which is a way of protecting that bishop. So pawn at d3 will come next if it's not defended. Okay, so we're going to see pawn at e3, I predict. So, yeah, I mean, at this stage, everyone should have completed about 6 matches, and so should have about 3 left. So opperwezen has completed as much as every other player in the candidates should have completed at this stage. GSVC is ahead of schedule, having finished everything. I think opperwezen has actually kept the pace that was recommended by the organisers, by the organizer, Fishy Fishy. Hi there, Dabby, in the Lichess chat. Okay, so there's a threat. Oh, okay, exactly. There was a threat of this picking up the queen. Okay. It seems like Black sorted out a lot of the problems he had in the opening. Okay, what's this to defend? Okay, the knight, that was a mating threat. Knight at f2 and rook at h1 is being a bit slow. So this knight, bishop takes knight, you can't retake automatically. So mastertan is on the defensive. Poor knight and rook. He's going to have to defend. So if pawn here, knight here, haven't got enough pawns to really. Oh, there's potentially a queen trade in the air. But I don't know why he didn't take on. Yeah, I think the queen trade might have benefited Black. There's simply queen takes queen and pawn at g2, and knight at f4. That was surely. Yeah, okay, so it goes knight at g5. There we go. Yeah, but f7 seems protected. So that's what I was saying. If I was Black, I'd be less worried about this queen trade. Okay, rook's landing on h1 if it can. So king g2 probably. Okay, well queen takes knight. Okay, the back rank is the weak now, unless he's got mate. Yeah, rook at g1 or rook at e1. Probably rook at g1 because it's more forcing. Takes. And now where's the mate? Let's see. Maybe, yeah. Knight at e2 is good. Rook at g1. Okay, queen at g1. And yeah, that's checkmate. So 7 games to 2 to mastertan. Yeah, that's what Mugwort says. Why not queen takes d1? Okay, so the last game of the series, and opperwezen goes for some creative opening. Trying to hit g7, b4. b4 is all about hitting g7. And so yeah, the pawn he gets, he immediately drops to hit g7. And the lone wolf, hi there. He says, Opper is the kind of guy to prepare lines like this. Yeah, absolutely. But he understands the ideas. I don't think he's not as kind of like, he doesn't prepare lines in terms of like memorizing lines like chess players do, although he is a chess player. But he understands the ideas of the position. And I think that's really important. Memorizing lines, I'd say, is not very good if you want to be a good player, because it just trains you in memorization. It doesn't train your understanding. It's really important to understand sort of ideas in different positions, and then you can try and apply those ideas in different positions, and it's a much greater wealth of knowledge. But yeah, as Lone Wolf says, there are some positions, and I think Vempele used to say that, where there's no alternative, you just have to learn the lines. So I can believe that. But I don't think opperwezen's the kind of person who he likes to experiment. He doesn't like following some rigid, if he does this, then I do this kind of approach. Yeah, so as Lone Wolf says, there are some lines where small differences make the difference, where you must remember exactly what you have to do. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so opperwezen seems to have come out quite nicely out of this opening. And if you just look at the material balance, Well, he's actually a piece down. A piece down for 2 pawns. But look at the black king position. He's going to get the piece back for sure. With, say, pawn at e6 at some stage. Yeah, just save the knight. Pawn at e6 is coming. Actually, having said this is interesting. So the pawn is hanging, but he's just got a counter threat on c7. Oh, and as the lone wolf points out, the rook defends c7, so that's not a counter threat. So queen could just take d5 then. Bishop c4 is annoying. And why can't you just take it? Ah, taking the bishop and then dropping a bishop on c4. Yeah. Okay, yeah. These are... Thanks for pointing these out to me. Okay, well, he's building a pawn chain on air because the foundation of the pawn chain is certainly not secure. Okay, so we have 2 hanging pawns. This is like the ghost attack because you have like 2 pawns, neither of which is defended. But you can't take this one because of a pawn drop on c7. But and the rook is no longer defending; it's been pushed back. Oh, I think pawn c7 looks nasty. Maybe it's bearable. Queen to e8 or something. So just to recap how the last couple of moves went, just so he's successfully got the knight. Exchange of bishop. Okay, so it seems like everything's been liquidated again, apart from that bishop still hanging. And after all that, it seems like the material will be completely level after that bishop is taken. Such a confusing sequence, though. So I'm not sure if taking that pawn. Yeah, what was the alternative though? Taking the knight? Not sure, because then this pawn would advance. So yeah, this is a real problem. So maybe he had to do this kind of thing. So he sacks the knight, and so okay, the bishop saves itself. So yeah, so white. Okay, so white is actually. No. White is actually. Yeah, no, it is completely level. After all that. So yeah, so for those listening on Twitch, I should just mention that I was chatting earlier with JK and with Lazy the Bullfrog, and we use voice chat on Discord. So if you want to chat, and also you chat over text, so do join the Discord if you want to join the discussions, or just keep up to date with what's happening. It's really a very wonderful resource. This game is really quite interesting. I hate to like rewind again, but it's just trying to work out what's going on with all the pieces hanging. Okay, both sides is under 15 seconds, so let's stay with the current action. Okay, so this file is open, there's a slight problem. He's also looking to try and get a rook in hand, maybe for... Oh, so mastertan flag, I didn't realise that. So yeah, I have streamed a couple of the Elite Arenas, but I wasn't able to tell them in advance I will definitely be able to stream, so they couldn't create the tournament saying I would stream. But yeah, so do check out the YouTube for the past CWC matches, also for a great series between opperwezen and Yasuseroan. Congratulations to Opper, who's now on 7 out of 7. I'll just put up the link of the standings if people are interested. And I also just want to put up a link to the CWC, to the blog with all the information about CWC. And if you're new to Crazyhouse, there's also, at the top, you'll see Guide to Crazyhouse. Click on that, you have all these links for about Crazyhouse. On the YouTube, I just did a big introduction to sort of getting better at Crazyhouse video with Baku's this morning. But also on the blog, there'll be lots of stuff about how to get better at Crazyhouse. So CWC, the two, so that gives lots of links about the Crazyhouse World Championship. Just so people who can, I'm typing this stuff so that people who can follow these links. I'm just going to do a little bit of analysis of these games. If you can hear me, Blunderman, yeah. So people can see. I'm trying to share these links so people can. So, for example, on the Crazyhouse, you can get recaps on all the rounds of the Crazyhouse World Championship so far. I also put a link there if you want to sponsor the candidates, which Jan Lee's created a GoFundMe page for the candidates. But there are no links as far as I can tell. So if you click, what do you mean there are no links? So Nightbot is replying to my when I do it. So, but for some reason, people are saying they can't see Nightbot's replies. So I'll just and I have to do it manually if you can't see it. That's the standings and my YouTube. There you go. But Blunderman can't see it because he's blocked Nightbot. Okay, so that's why he can't see it. Okay, so okay. I'm sorry for just spamming these links, but yeah, do subscribe to the YouTube. Do check out the blog. There are loads of recap posts on past rounds of this year's Crazyhouse World Championship. Do check out the YouTube. There's lots of videos. We've got over 50 videos now of live action from the Crazyhouse World Championship. Every candidate match so far has been streamed. Also, check out the blog for if you're new to Crazyhouse and want to see all the links to stuff like Krosky's blog, Chicken Crossroads blog for how to get better at Crazyhouse. There's something called the Guide to Crazyhouse at the top with all those links. And I hope to update the blog with lots of new stuff in future. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have just a quick look through the games. I'm going to have a quick look through the games in case we missed. Just to take an opportunity to see the things which I couldn't see during the games because I don't have Stockfish open, and also, yeah, just any sort of tactics I missed. Things which would be worth talking about also when we do a recap. So thanks Mixu Chess, and thanks for helping out explaining the Nightbot issue. Okay, so we're going to now go to do a quick recap of the games, and okay. So yeah, so here bishop takes f7 doesn't work apparently from mastertan. So what was his idea? His idea was take on f7. Yes, it did look quite nasty. It looks uncomfortable. But I guess the queen is not so valuable. So this is a mistake because queen. Yeah, I was thinking queen a4 check, but then why not just bishop to d7? Then take this queen. Oh yeah, this is take this queen, and then take on h8. Yeah, and if white just takes the queen immediately, then this could be very bad. So black then would be winning with knight takes d4. Taking the rook is too dangerous because the knight is taking on f2. So so yeah, this was an idea. I actually saw that as an idea during the game, bishop d7, but I didn't see the full continuation. Next queen, knight takes rook, and the point is that a bishop on a4 is not nearly as dangerous as a knight on d4. So I think that was interesting. So actually, knight e6 from Opper is a little bit of a mistake. Apparently, it's just a good idea just to put a bishop on b6, defending the queen. That's not a problem. Okay, but I think this was missed. So at this point, yeah, so he does win back. The queen's got a knight in hand. Okay, so that knight's kind of dangerous. And he could sack the queen on the rook. Queen takes f2 is even better, and then it's going to come on the rook anyway in time. So black is dominating this position. And now I was thinking, is there a force mate here? Knight takes e2 is a force mate, apparently. But queen takes rook is also completely dominating for black, just producing lots of queens on the back rank, and the two queens mate. So that was game one. So bishop takes f7 is a bit of a mistake from mastertan, but it wasn't punished completely accurately by Opper in game one. So game two, so queen g4. So this is theory, and it's supposed to be powerful for white. So I was trying to think in this position, knight takes knight, and obviously this doesn't work at all because queen takes g7, knight e4 check, and then you can just block. Yeah, so knight c3 or something. Okay, and so white's attack is much stronger. So black does bishop takes, pawn takes, and defends. You could also go knight at g6 to defend. And here, bishop takes knight, pawn takes, and jumping a knight on h5, increasing the pressure on g7 is a good tactic. Okay, but we see instead this, castles. Yeah, now here, I was thinking maybe bishop at g5, but no, obviously not. Bishop at b5 rather. Yeah, maybe that's not. That was an idea I had in this position, but the idea being that at some point then, when we could have a bishop on this diagonal, we will be threatening mate if there's a bishop on b5, but I can't remember the exact sequence, but takes, yeah, so bishop at b5 again is quite a nice idea in position, but he went for knight at b5, and knight g3, knight, yes, this is a nice find. So even queen takes g3 is an interesting move, yeah. But knight takes g3. Apparently queen takes f7 is dangerous. King takes f7. Then f takes g3 comes with check. Wow, so this is a tactic missed by opperwezen. Queen takes f7, then you can take the knight with check and pick up the queen. Nice, but it was missed. knight here, and yeah, the queen takes pawn doesn't work. Just taking the queen and is probably the best. But okay, so mastertan is actually losing this quite badly. White even has forced mate in this position, quite shockingly, with bishop at d7. What? So if the king takes, rook takes, no. I don't understand. Why can't just the bishop take back? Knight at d6, and we have another knight, okay, which could be landing here maybe. So knight at d6, c takes d6, knight takes d6, king, if king to e7, rook takes f7 is checkmate. So king here, rook takes f7 is still coming, king to g8, okay, so we're just obviously mating. Queen lands on the back rank, and queen takes g7 is checkmate. Okay, so this is actually the key idea is this f7 as well. And if you try and run like this, then knight at c5 check, and then try and run back. If you try and run back, we have the same idea of knight at d6. We have a third knight in hand. And if we try and run here, just rook takes f7. Oh, we have a queen in hand, so we can still do the same things. Knight at d6. If you try and run, so you could take, or you try and run, the queen is coming, and pawn here will be checkmate. So if you take, it just delays it by one move. It's coming inevitably. Okay. So game 3 now. Sorry, I didn't actually finish game 2 because what actually happened in game 2 was that despite opperwezen having this very nice mating idea, somehow, yeah, he had the knight at d6 idea, but somehow you needed bishop at d7 first before knight at d6. He did knight at d6 first, takes, king d7, rook takes f7, block. And the attack sort of runs out of steam. And it's actually black who's winning in the final position. And in this final position, opperwezen actually flagged. So it's really weird, but the king can kind of run out this way. So you needed, this is a very important idea, bishop at d7. Needed to block the escape route. Yeah, really interesting. So now we're going to look at game 3. Just going to just reset. Yeah, I really like this one. I really like the setup that Opper had here with his 2 bishops. And if I just look at how does Stockfish like it, yeah, it says black is winning. So it agrees. Refuses the trade, interestingly. Pushes the rook back. Makes the king safer. Really nice setup from black. Just in no rush at all. Just he's in control of his half of the board. He picks up a pawn and he is straight in with an attack, and straight in with the big advantage. Queen takes h3. Win the bishop. Takes back, and this is very nice. Knight takes rook. Rook takes f8. Okay, so sacking the queen because 2 knights and a pawn will mate. If king takes h3, knight at g5. If the king runs back, we have knight at h4, and then this knight comes to h3, and the pawn will be checkmating. There's still the potential for running forwards. So knight at g5, the king could still run to h4, but then we have knight at g2 check, and the king would have to run here. And this looks like mate, but the king does survive for a little bit. He gets a knight in hand. if the king takes on the bishop, then knight f6 will be checkmate. But the king can, where can the king go? King can drop back. Okay, so it's not quite mate, but you've got rook takes pawn. If king takes g2, then we're mating. We've got knight here, check. We have a pawn if he goes into the corner. When he goes here, we'll have this other knight swinging in with checkmate. So he absolutely has to take this. But then we have pawn at h4 check. King has to take the knight. And now we'd get the queen with check, and it's very beautiful checkmate. King to g1, knight h3 mate. So there's a very beautiful mate if you take the queen. So yeah, really nice find, this queen takes h3. But if the king steps back to g1, as happened in the game, then you just, yeah, pawn g2. There's no way of stopping this mate. So that was a very beautiful game 3. Now, let's have a look at game 4. Yeah, in these positions it's tempting to play f3, but maybe some people would say that's a success if you induce that weakness. But also because f3 does do something to control the center, but it does weaken e3. But okay, so which is better, f3 or knight f3? That's open to question. Yes, this setup, something's gone wrong for white in this game. Maybe castling immediately is a good idea, because with this move and here, it seems like a lot of light square problems. But it suggests bishop takes c. So why not bishop takes c3? Why not queen takes? What's the problem with this? Bishop takes c3 is what it says, and then drop a pawn on e4. So that's what the Stockfish quite likes in this position. Just working away at these light squares in white's position immediately. So, okay, but this is the sort of thing where the pawns looked a little bit of a mess, but they still had a certain, yeah, now this is key. f6 for black in this position looked really nice. And people were chatting about this a lot in the chat. So let's just have a look at the line they were talking about. So they said f6, they're suggesting even h3. F takes g5, this is GSVC, h takes g4, knight takes f4. That's quite a nice line for black. But he just replaced the bishop. And in this position, I'm wondering why you don't just take the bishop and replace the bishop on g5. Stockfish is thinking take the bishop and replace the bishop on e3. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. And here, mastertan went all-out aggression, really losing a piece, but he's attacking the bishop, he's attacking e2, as we saw in the game, attacking h3. So white saves the bishop, he takes h3, takes g4. So yeah, black's doing really nicely in this game, actually. Okay, queen g6 also possible, but okay. Nice snazzy move from Offer. Just if you take the knight, this knight falls and you win the rook as well. So just castles. So he wins that pawn. Loses the rook. Okay, and in this position he's just going to go pawn takes bishop check, and black mastertan is in complete control of this position. In fact, I was surprised after pawn takes bishop he didn't just take back, but that apparently is even worse because of queen h4 check, king g1, and you're just picking up this bishop. So that bishop is falling anyway, so he has to go for some kind of counterattack. Maybe get this knight, try and get in on the back rank somehow. But he played bishop takes f6 very, very quickly. Mastertan actually flagged. So yeah, that was a bit of a sad game for Mastertan, that game 3. Okay, so game 4. So we were joined in some of these games by JK the Bullfrog, so thanks again to him for joining us. and he was able to share with us some of the theory. So, for example, after bishop a6 takes, bishop at b7 is quite a nice move. White might play a move like knight b4 to defend this pawn, but bishop takes rook, queen takes. The queen is maybe in a slightly silly position. Apparently, in this position, white would play something like pawn at c7. Yeah, white is completely in control. And in fact, there are better moves from black in this position, but it's a very difficult position to play for black. They're saying just bishop c5, knight f6, bishop e4. Yeah, so it's not clear. I mean, Stockfish is even just saying just give up the knight, which is very strange. And it's saying don't even take the knight. It's just not worth it. Pawn at g5, knight, move the knight, take the pawn, check. Anyway, so some kind of crazy theoretical discussion might ensue, but this seems, at least according to Stockfish, to be crushing for white already about +5. And you could just take the knight, which seems to be means white's a piece up, very underdeveloped, but a piece up. So anyway, so the game continued with, instead with knight here, takes, castles, bishop e7, and then this. So yeah, white has got a big advantage, but Opper turns it around with this one move. Pawn takes pawn is a big mistake. Turns out bishop takes pawn is necessary. So this is a kind of critical move. If bishop takes pawn, then you have to take back the bishop. And then you have pawn at d7 apparently. And you could sidestep, but then you can take back this pawn, or if the queen takes here, queen takes queen, king takes, queen at d4 check, and then pick up queen takes pawn. So these sorts of ideas. So yeah, giving up, but the point is giving up the rook. This, on the other hand, gives black some initiative. He's worried about rook takes d1, queen e2, this, and the queen can take either the rook or the bishop, piece of choice. So black is definitely good. The one way out, which JK noticed on stream, is bishop takes c6. Then the bishop's distracted, then you can take the queen, and there isn't this queen at e2 idea. But black apparently is still good in this position. So, and yeah, with this is some very nice idea. Tries to undermine h3, he's in on h3, and now queen at f1 is checkmate. Yeah, there's only one shame, is that obviously I'm not doing this in the study, so we don't. So the only way we're going to see this in the future is by watching the stream. There's no written record. It's just a visual record. But so be it. And also memories are short. Okay. So f3. Yeah, this is the sort of situation where white's a piece up. It was just a case of defending in this game. White's in control. It all looked completely under control. Bishop at g3, queen h5, and then queen d3. It's just suddenly a huge blunder. Queen d3 just hangs queen takes rook, and how to defend rook at f1. It's just you just have checks, but rook at f1 is coming. If you take the queen, if you don't take the queen, then rook at h1 is coming with knight takes, pawn takes. Just a huge blunder. I mean, even a kind of basic move like rook e3 would be okay, not wonderful, but okay. A move like bishop at g4 is crushing. the queen just simply has nowhere to go to. Queen to g6, okay, it does have somewhere to go to. But queen to g6, knight f4. So this is completely crushing. Completely crushing. Knight to g5, but now you can take the queen, you're threatening mate. So but he could take the rook. Knight takes f3 with check. Okay, it's okay, because the knight's covering the mate. So it's no big deal. So something like this. White is completely crushing. So this was a huge miss from Opper. Okay, which match number are we on? We're now on game 7. So mastertan going for quite a passive setup, but gets quite a good attack going. Pawn at f4 apparently is better to get straight in. Pawn at f4, probably pawn at g5 next, I'm guessing. But okay, this also looks pretty decent. But okay, but black is still safe in a way. So queen d3, the computer does not like at all. It thinks just take the pawn on b7. So what's wrong with queen d3 is, yeah, there's a free knight. This is a big problem. Okay, white eventually takes the free knight and begins an attack. But white has mate here. Knight takes, knight here. Okay, and in this position, white, despite having a dominating position, actually flagged. But there was a mate in 5, so let's just have a look at the mate in 5, and that will definitely be worth starring. So rook at h8 is fine, but pawn at g6 first was even better. The idea being that if pawn takes, then I'm guessing the mate is simpler, because it's rook at h8, queen takes, pawn takes, and queen at g7 is checkmate. So you're forced to go king takes. Okay, and now we can go knight at e7 check. And the king can either run up or it runs back. If it runs back, then the rook at h8 mate is happening as before. Okay, if it runs up, there's only, it can go to h5 or g5. If it goes to g5, this is very simple. The rook is landing here, and the knight is landing here. So this knight and rook combination is just going to cut off these two squares, and this knight is going to cut off this square. So this is the mating idea that was missed by mastertan. Quite critical. So this is still crushing, but g takes f8 is 9. This is mate in 7. Queen takes f8. At f5 check was needed to finish off the mate. King takes f5, e4 check. King g6, because if you keep on taking, then that's defended by the bishop. Okay, so king g6. I guess it's this knight at e7 check idea again. Rook and knight cutting stuff off. Yes, it's exactly the same mating idea. If queen takes knight, then rook at g8 works. I know, just move the existing rook to g8 apparently. And the point is, you still have the rook and knight for this idea. Rook here, knight here, and if the king runs back here, rook here is checkmate. Okay, so this is a really nice mate that mastertan missed, and he flagged. It was the second game he's winning when he flags. And given the overall score was 8-2, I guess we could say that didn't make a difference in the overall scheme of things, but still a bit disappointing. Okay, so this game, white controls the center, and yeah, h3, as JK said during the commentary, maybe a little bit of a waste of tempo, but perfectly decent. But maybe it weakens some of the dark squares around the king, and it's not as if the bishop's coming to g4 anytime soon, so maybe it's not completely necessary. But yeah, pretty nice play from Opper here. Threatening mate in 1, defends, going in for an attack, but he just goes straight in, threatening mate on d8. So this is a crush from white, almost straight from the opening. Knight here check. Now we were wondering when we were watching this, is there a mate? Rook here check. Pawn here, bishop takes bishop. Yeah, and he just takes all the pieces. And yeah, he finds the mate here was just queen at g5, king g7, then knight takes e6, bishop takes e6, but then the queen can come into, the queen then cuts off the back rank, so at h6 is mate. The pawn you just took on e6, you can drop on h6 and it's checkmate. Anyway, this is just, it was an easy mate anyway. But what I was wondering is, was there anything when the king was was almost smothered here? E takes f6, g takes f6. Knight to c7. Yeah, there wasn't anything completely decisive. Ah, there was. So pawn at d6 was decisive. But actually, JK's intuition during the game, maybe this is slightly safer, possibly. Bishop at f6, pawn at e7. Is there any... Ah, there's a mate here as well. But it's a very chill kind of mate of just move your knight back, we're going to put a pawn here and a rook here, and you're just not going to be able to stop me. So why can't you defend like this? Pawn at c7 comes anyway. If you take it, I'm taking back with the queen. So it's a kind of very chill mate of just I'm dumping a pawn here whether you like it or not, and I'm dumping a rook here whether you like it or not. You've only got queens to defend with, which are completely useless. So that is quite an easy mate in a way. Yeah. Whereas with this, so we could. I wonder if the same idea works, just going knight at 7 to b5. And apparently it doesn't, because he's got pawn takes bishop and giving the king an escape route. So black's not doing nearly so badly there. But got pawn at d6, and if the king runs back to d8 now, then we have rook at e8. Bishop takes e8. This is the kind of shenanigans I'm quite keen on seeing. King to d7. I want to just go queen c7, but then the king takes this knight. So knight c5 check. If the king runs back, c7 is mate, so he has to run forwards. But c7 is still mate because of the knight cutting off the escape routes of the king. Yeah, so that rook at e8 is a weird mating idea. But what if the king just takes this pawn? And then we have we can do a reveal check. Knight 7 to d5, reveal check. If you block, I'm just taking it. If you run, I have a rook, and these two squares are both covered. If you run here, I'm going to go queen here. And again, these two squares are both covered. So we either land with the queen on c7 or a rook on c4, and it's checkmate. Okay, so that was game 8. Now looking at game 9. So yeah, okay. I had a feeling knight takes e4 is wrong, but I'm completely wrong, aren't I? Yeah, knight takes e4 is fine. At least it's probably in the book even. But there's something, I don't know this e4 e5 theory, so I'm just a little confused. Knight takes d4 is much more usual in this position. So Mastertan played bishop c4, which is much rarer. Castles, castles, knight takes e4, bishop takes f7, king takes f7. And yeah, this isn't, I thought this would be good for white, but actually I was not right in that assessment. So this is actually completely crashing for black right from the get-go. I was wondering what's going on. Yeah, this is an interesting idea. So takes the knight, just takes c5, blocks, doesn't continue with his attack with at e3 check. Interestingly, that was a possibility, just go straight in with the attack at e3, knight here. Instead, takes, blocks, e3 now. And yeah, okay, all these diagonal pieces are doing a great defensive job for black. And yeah, this is very safe for black. There's really no danger. And it's a little bit of a crush, this game. Knight here, he finds the mate, king takes e2, rook. Rook here is checkmate. Yeah, knight here was also checkmate, apparently, according to the engine. Okay, so that was game 9. And then game 10 was very interesting. Pretty wild affair with b4 by opperwezen. Already -2 according to the engines. Bishop e2, bishop takes e5, c3, bishop back. This is all theory. Knight e7, h3, castles. Oh, so castles is a mistake, apparently. You have to just eat that pawn. And sorry, I can't do any challenges right now. I'm doing some commentary. Okay, knight f3. Okay, so yeah, this is. So white is apparently doing really nicely here. Knight f to d4 is strong. Knight takes a3 is also strong. But opperwezen went for a very creative idea with just this. Queen moves. I thought, yeah, this is fine. And at the end of it all, actually things leveled out. The pieces were level. Position is fairly level, although black's kingside is not so safe. And okay, so big attack on g2. He gets in on g2, and yeah, really complex position here. Suggesting for black b3 as being a potentially interesting move. The idea, so b3, if you take it, so if I take it this way, then no, it doesn't mean that at all. b3, but okay, and if I take it, I'm trying to work out what's the idea. He takes a pawn and dumps it on h2. I mean, this is, yeah, but what if he just takes it this way? I'm just really baffled by the g takes f3. Yeah, I just don't understand, but engines are sometimes hard to understand. Anyway, bishop at d6. Okay, so it was a really complex game. It's kind of a shame it finished with another flag from mastertan. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear later whether there was a problem with mastertan's internet or something, because he is a very fast player. So for him to flag, so 3 games, and this game certainly he wasn't winning. It's quite a complex position. Knight g2, king here. G takes f3, bishop g4. In fact, the last point he was potentially winning is with this crazy b3 idea, which I just don't understand. So if I just take it, then he wants to go knight at f4. Oh, I see, and the bishop's not protected anymore. Yeah, that is annoying. And if you take this way, then he has another pawn in hand to go a2. Okay, yeah. In that position, I can see the idea of it. Yeah. Okay, so this has been a good recap of opperwezen against mastertan. Congratulations to opperwezen, who's now on. I can actually post the standings. I have not updated them. But I can post the standings before this match. That would be the most sensible thing to do, and after this match we will update them. So I'm just loading them up. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. This is the link which I should put on Nightbot. Okay, so if you go to zhchess.blogspot.com, you've got all the links here, the official site, the draw, the upcoming matches, and the current standings. And you also got all these recap posts from each of the earlier rounds, and then introducing the candidates. And also a playlist on YouTube of all the streams of matches so far. So I just wanted to share the current standings before we close the stream. So opperwezen has now played mastertan, so that should read 8-2. So JSVC with no matches remaining is on 7.5. Opperwezen's now on 7 with 2 matches remaining. So he only needs half a point potentially, 1 to be absolutely certain to secure himself as the challenger to Jan Lee. So I'll just leave that up for you to just have a quick look at, and while I do that, I'll just quickly insert the score from today. And it's all been cunningly programmed. So if I now refresh this page, I didn't even need to refresh it, it's still there, 8-2, 2-8, and now it says, so this has been masterfully programmed by Legion Destroyer. He's only got 2 matches remaining, same as 12-teen, but 1.5 points ahead of 12-teen. So this is the latest standings in the candidates phase of the Crazyhouse World Championship. Some really interesting games. Good to both stream them live and also do some commentary afterwards. And really big thanks again for JK the Bullfrog for joining me in the commentary. And do join the Discord. I post the links in the Twitch chat if you ever join me on Twitch. It's OKZH on Twitch. Do join the Discord to join the conversation. This is OK signing out. Bye bye.